Hi, I'm Dr. Darwin, the new dentist coach, with another episode of Ask Dr. Darwin on the New Dentist Coach podcast show, where you ask questions and we get you the answers. Whether you're a dental student, pre-dental student, a resident, or a new dentist that's been practicing less than 8 years, you ask those questions, send those questions right here to newdentistcoach@gmail.com, and we get those answered for you. Special topics, questions, these issues, problems that you're having. We try to help you as much as we can. Today's show, we're going to be talking, in today's episode, we have a doc from all across the Atlantic Ocean, and he is in a very unique location, I would say a destination location. A lot of people probably want to go to probably on a daily or weekly or monthly or yearly basis. We're joined with Dr. Harvey. He's going to tell us a little bit more about how to become an island destination dentist. Dr. Harvey, how you doing, my brother?
Hey, it's a pleasure, man. It's a pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Hey, thank you. So tell everybody a little bit more about yourself.
Well, like you said, my name is Jamiko Harvey. Basically, I'm from the Turks and Caicos Islands. That's the destination you're referring to. I'm an original. I was born here. I grew up in the Turks and Caicos Islands. And for those of you listening audience that don't know about the Turks and Caicos Islands, we're basically a group of islands southeast of the Bahamas, about an hour and a half plane ride away from Miami. The total land mass of the island itself is about 190 square miles. Very, very small islands. We have about 8 inhabited islands, six to 8 inhabited islands. Some will call it, some of the smaller keys are also inhabited. But in total, we have about 40 islands and keys. And basically, the islands are divided into Turks Island and Caicos Islands. The Turks Islands is where you have the nation's capital, Grand Turk. And then Caicos Islands is where you have more of the larger islands, and is where I was born and grew up. So after I finished school in Turks and Caicos, I actually migrated over to the U.S. I did my undergrad at Nova Southeastern University in Fort Lauderdale. And then I went on to Meharry. As you see, I'm representing tonight.
Meharry made, I see.
Yeah. We went to Meharry Medical College. And after finishing Meharry, I promised myself that I'll come back and work as a dentist. And, right now I'm the only local dentist working here. So, the road wasn't easy, but I made it, and I'm proud to be back home.
Wow, you are the only local dentist on the island?
The only one, the only active one.
Active?
Basically, I'm the chief dental officer, or the chief dental surgeon, as some might call it. We've had about a total of 3 local chief dental officers in the past, all of whom are Meharry grads, me being the third one. So I'm the only active local dentist in Turks and Caicos Islands.
Wow. So it looks like Meharry got a handle on that destination, man.
Oh man, we owe a lot to Meharry. The Turks and Caicos owe a lot to Meharry.
I hear you. Now, is there anyone in your family that's a dentist?
Well, actually, no. I'm the only one. I'm the first and the only one.
Wow, that's amazing. Now, you mentioned you're also the only active dentist on the island. How many people are there that you actually serve?
Well, the island, we have a population of 40,000. Mm-hmm. And being the chief dental officer for the government, basically it is my responsibility to ensure that the entire island receives service. Even though we do have some private dentists here, everything eventually falls back in the hands of the government dentists. And that's the service that I oversee. Wow.
Now, tell us a little bit about, it's been a homecoming for you, and you've been back for how long now?
Well, I graduated from Meharry in 2011.
Okay.
And I came right back. I was anxious. I didn't even do a residency. So I came right back, And I was actually was so excited. I finished dental school 7 months before the graduation date, and I was just, I was tutoring first year students ready to get back home, but they won't let me go because I had to meet the the attendance requirement.
That's right.
So I had to stay back. But I came right back after graduation, and I started working for the government like about a few weeks later. And shortly after that, maybe like a year later, I got the post as the chief dental officer in 2012, and I've been holding that post ever since.
Wow! Congratulations! Congratulations!
Thank you. Thank you.
Tell us a little bit about what the licensure has been like or is like for getting a license there in Turks and Caicos.
All right. Well, it's funny you speak of licenses because since last year, well, for the last 2 years, I actually served as the chairman of the Health Practitioners Board, and I gave up that post just last year, June of last year, and with that post, I was responsible for licensing and registering medical practitioners, pharmacies, dentists, all the healthcare professionals on the islands, and all those that wanting to come to practice in Turks and Caicos. And basically, what we work off a system of endorsement. So if you are a dentist that are registered in the U.S. and you want to come and work in Turks and Caicos, you would have to have a valid license in the U.S. and we basically would endorse that license. There are very few countries that we don't do endorsement of, but for the most part, we work off an endorsement of various licenses.
Okay, so what are those non-endorsed countries?
Well, it's those far outreach countries that we basically have difficulties proving that the academic requirements are legit or the qualifications are legit. Some of the countries that come to mind are basically like South Africa. I think one of the countries also was the Philippines. These are countries that we couldn't really do any background research, or we didn't have the database to vet these individuals adequately. So we basically just stayed away from those applications.
Got you. So you mentioned that there are some private dentists or dentists that are on contract. There were three. In the history, there's been 3 chief dental officers or dental surgeons. So what's the number of the active ones versus the numbers that are actually licensed there that are I guess they're private or contract dentists?
Well, you see, like I said, the islands are very small. All in total, we have maybe about 5 or 6 private dental practices. Mm-hmm. And then me, myself, I also own 2 dental practices as well. So I'm also, in addition to the chief dental officer, I'm actually the owner of Paradise Smiles. That's a dental practice that I run. So, I'm kind of a busy man, but, I got the best of both worlds, I can say.
That's right, man.
We have about six private dental offices. In total, we might have about 10 dentists, that practice on island. We do have a lot of visiting dentists, though. We have mostly visiting orthodontists. We have visiting oral and maxillofacial surgeon. We have visiting periodontist. So the island is not that popular in terms of having specialty clinics on island. We do have an oral and maxillofacial surgeon that works for the hospital, but that's about the only specialist we have on island station. Most of the other specialty they visit. So in total, we have about 10 practicing dentists. And the dentist I mentioned is the one that is retired that also is Mahari Graham. Well, his father actually was the founder of dentistry for Turks and Caicos. He founded dentistry back in 1927. He graduated from Mahari in 1925. And his son is the second local dentist, and he graduated from Mahari in 1971. And so, and then me being the third, I graduated in 2011. So, like I said, Mahari, we owe Mahari a great deal.
Yes, it's a deep Mahari tradition.
Deep.
there. I'm trying to figure out if I can even come and practice there. I'm not a Maharian, but my uncle is a Maharian from 1970, I think 1972. So I don't know if that. We have to see. We have to talk offline about that. So as the chief dental officer and surgeon there, what's your typical day like?
Well, I mean, my role and my responsibility are more like twofold. You know, I'm responsible for diagnosing and treating various dental healthcare problems, but I'm also responsible for managing and regulating dental healthcare policies. So I would basically oversee, like I said, the 7 dental clinics that the government own. I have a staffing capacity of 13. I have 2 dentists that work under me, 2 on the major, 1 at each major location, because the government dental clinic is actually located on the major location, is located within the hospital. So we have stations in the hospital that 2 dentists work out of the main location. And you know, I will collect information from these dentists, make sure that their schedules are functioning properly, their equipment are well maintained, that there are no complaints, any emergencies that we have, we would have to treat because, you know, we are mainly a tourist destination. So if these individuals happen to run into a problem, you know, they would call on the chief dental officer to address that issue. If we happen to have a dental shortage, a dentist shortage, like in the case where I needed the locum, it would be my responsibility to go out and get someone to fill that post to ensure that the government service is maintained.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. Now, you mentioned that you just had a recent locum tenens position.
Yeah.
Does that happen often?
Well, it does happen on a regular because, like I said, myself with 2 dentists, there would be times when, you know, both of us would want to go on vacation at the same time, or someone will go out with sick emergency, and I'll quickly have to get someone to fill for a period of a week or a month. The current locum is actually just finishing up her stint next week Tuesday, so she's been in place for about a month and a half.
Okay, that's good. Okay. Um, any upcoming projects that you have as the chief dental officer there on the island? Any news? Any things that you guys are working on
Yeah.
to improve access to care, or issues that you're having there that you're working on right now?
Well, you see, basically, like I said, I'm responsible for budgeting. So we're actually in the middle of a budgeting process right now. And, you know, every month I would collect a report and I would feed that report onto my permanent secretary. And the ministry I work under is actually the Ministry of Health, Agriculture, Sports, and Human Services. And with me passing that information on to my permanent secretary, they basically would pass that information on to the Minister of Health, and he then represents us at the Parliament level. So I'm actually just I've been working on a capital project to, you know, procure new equipment for all island clinics. So, you know, the equipment I've been working with has been there since, you know, for a pretty long time. And so since I came back, I've been trying to get this capital project passed in my budget. So we were finally able to get it passed this year, you know, so which was very great for us as a department. So we're about to get a new set of equipment, you know, state of the art, ADAC chairs and everything to work with. And
Nice.
I know my staff is very happy about that.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah.
Does that also include some electric hand pieces, any CAD/CAM technology, lasers? What?
Well, not necessarily CAD/CAM, but we are going to get digital sensors. You know, we go digital with the X-rays. We don't really do in terms of service wise. The CAD/CAM won't really work for us because we do basic service as a government. The procedures are pretty much almost free. You know, because as a government service in our healthcare system, we have pretty much a universal healthcare. We have a national health insurance. So if you visit the government dentist, you're going to pay a minimal fee to receive any type of procedure. Well, I shouldn't say any type of procedures, because what we usually do is extractions, fillings, cleanings, repairs, denture repairs, crown re-cementation, things of that nature. But in terms of crowns and full-on denture, braces, we don't do those procedures. So if you were looking to get a procedure done, a basic procedure, you would pay a minimum fee at the government service and you receive those procedures.
Now, if they do want braces, or if they have other requirements or healthcare wise, is that where those visiting
Private.
specialists come in, or do you ship
Exactly.
them off to another part of the island or a different island?
Yeah, well, that's where the visiting dentists come in.
Okay.
And also, like I said, we do have some private offices as well on island. I myself, I do crowns and dentures, even implants in my private office. So if there's something that the government doesn't offer, then they would probably want to see me in private sector, or see one of my dentists that works for me in the private sector.
Gotcha. Wow, this is amazing, man. I didn't know this existed, or how the structure was over in the Turks and Caicos, but it sounds like something that's been working very well. And good luck with your ongoing budgeting report and project, and getting that capital campaign together and getting it finalized.
Appreciate that. Yeah.
Hey, so what's the best way for people to get in contact with you if they have questions, or maybe want to look into becoming an island destination dentist, either as a locum tenens or even permanently?
Well, they can either look me up on Facebook. It's Jamiko Harvey at Facebook, or they can look up, they can check my Facebook page for my business office, which is Paradise Smiles TCI.
Paradise Smiles TCI. Okay.
Paradise Smiles TCI. Or they can send me an email at paradise.smiles12@gmail.com.
Paradise.smiles
Smiles 12 @gmail.com.
gmail.com. Oh man, this has been very informative, and again, just for people to know, we kind of met. I saw you put a post out there looking for a locum tenens at the time, and I had reached out, told you I had some residents that might be something that they would be interested in, and that's kind of like how we met. But I thought it would be good to kind of have you on the show, on the episode, so you can kind of explain how the system works. And it may be similar to some of the other islands as well, but I wanted to kind of get your perspective, which has been very helpful. So
I appreciate that.
Hey man, thanks so much for your time. We appreciate you. I got to come down now and visit. It's official.
Definitely.
Got to come down and visit, check you out at Paradise Smiles, and also see a little bit more about how the Ministry of Health and Sports and Information works with providing care to the 40,000 patients and people of Turks and Caicos. So thanks so much, man, for your time. Let's keep in contact, okay?
Definitely. I appreciate you.
All right, Doc. Take care. And
All
if you guys appreciate what you've been hearing and what you heard about this in this particular episode, please be sure to send me an email right here at newdentistcoach@gmail.com. Also, leave a comment down below. Let us know what you liked most about what you heard. And then also check out this next video over here. I think it's going to be over here. Check it out when we get finished so you can watch the next another video. There's over close to 200 videos we have, and many different series for the New Dentist Coach series, and I hope you guys enjoy them. Again, Dr. Harvey, thanks so much, and we'll talk to you soon. Take care.
All right. Take care.
Bye.